No.
And did you ever get any money from Maya Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Chennies?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou, live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent to
You
criminate.
got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of intent to criminate.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main
You
intent
have
to
any
criminate.
occupation?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent
Are
to
you a
criminate.
known racketeer?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of main intent.
Happy Friday night. Welcome to the Grand Jury, our Night Court, the Friday night specials, where we review police videos, uses of force with a panel of law enforcement officers, some legal minds, which I think will be in here soon, and civilians. We kind of act as a grand jury to determine whether the use of force is warranted or justified, as we would say. And somebody's got the mic open. I can hear myself echoing back. There we go. Then we have Dr. Douglas Ahern in here. He's definitely can handle the legal mind aspect of this. But on our law enforcement panel side, we've got John Cox from North Carolina, Jason, and myself. On the legal side tonight, we'll probably have lawyer Joe, said she might be a little bit late, and Dr. Douglas Ahern to give us the kind of sterile legal opinion of it is what we usually look for. Not always what we get, though. I have evidence. And then we've got sitting on the civilian side, which is what most grand juries are going to be. They're not going to have these technical experts sitting there, maybe testifying, but the people that really will decide on a grand jury are your civilians, just regular folks that are reasonable, regular folks is what they would be. And our reasonable, regular folks tonight are Bruce Wayne, Burton, Fidgy, and Corey. You follow us on the Night Court show, you'll notice all those characters. But does anybody have anything they want to talk about before we get to the first videos? Any announcements? There's always usually a 3D response announcement because you guys are moving like lightning fast up there. Anything?
So, yeah, we're having North Carolina Safer Schools is now under the umbrella of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. And I spoke with the chief of staff last week, and he is very interested in 3D response. And we are doing a presentation Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So very important. Probably one of the most important ones I think we've had. Jason may agree or disagree.
Wait,
Fantastic, John.
you hedged your bets on whether he would disagree or agree. That's like,
Well, I'm not speaking for Jason. I don't speak for anybody. So.
Is Jason with us?
I'm here. It's all good. The more we get in front of people that can make decisions, the better off we are. So it's another one. We have quite a few of them lately.
That's good. That's good. That word needs to get out. More people need to see it and it click in their heads like it has for all of us. And let's get that stuff in. I mean, it's like arguing whether you should pay for a seatbelt or not. It's dumb. Let's go to Kennewick, Washington. And this one's atypical as far as the police response to it, but we talk about a lot in our X spaces. We've talked a lot about on this show about, what's a weapon, this is a weapon, and that's a weapon, and this was made to be a weapon, and this other thing could be a weapon. But let's look at that through this lens. What can be a weapon?
He's leaving. Looks like he's about to head west off the island.
Get the fuck out, bro!
Anyone dispatch, you just intentionally backed into my car?
I was gonna say that was rude.
Where he was.
Well, 1 second at a mode of transportation, the next second a weapon, and then back to a mode of transportation.
Copy that. Vehicle's occupied twice. Male driver, female passenger. Looks like he's locked out, still headed southbound.
So there's your video. Possession of a stolen vehicle, 14-year-old, when contacted with police after someone reported it looked like a female was being held against her will. Initial contact, the suspect stopped the vehicle, intentionally rammed the police officer's vehicle, driving up on his hood. Now, I mentioned that it being a deadly weapon. Does anybody have any disputes as to whether that vehicle was being used as a deadly weapon at the time?
I don't think it was being used as a deadly weapon. I just think he's being stupid.
We got an echo again. I don't know who it is, but
And he's leaving.
yeah, if you're not talking, maybe it's better to be on mute in case you have speakers. That's giving us a loop back. Well, you know what? I'll disagree. I'll say by the manner of use that a reasonable person could believe that that could cause serious bodily injury or death. What if he didn't stop? What if he didn't bottom out on the cattle guard on front and went through the windshield, tire slips into this officer's chest and kills him?
Intentionally backed into my car.
No, I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm saying I don't think that was his intent to use it as such.
Okay, I'll buy that. So maybe.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with that because he literally backed up onto the hood knowing that he was backing into a car. That was utilizing the vehicle as a weapon.
Exactly. And you're saying that someone had to, it had to be intent. Now, doesn't be intent. The whole thing was he used it as a weapon, rammed that officer's car that could have killed him. If anyone wants to say that, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm not disputing that. I'm saying now, looking at it hindsight 2020, him being 14, I don't think in his mind he knew or looked at it as a deadly weapon. He was trying to get away from the officer.
Well, I'm looking at it more like, let's say that officer in front had jumped out and put 6 rounds through the windshield at the scene and killed him.
Oh, he'd been justified.
That's kind of my point. Derps thinks this is the worst possible scenario, so I'll take that. I'll take that for what it's worth. Thank you, Derp. And Doc says, a weapon. I think so. I think it wouldn't be hard to articulate that. But you know what? Let's go to an attorney. What does Dr. Douglas Ahern think about the use of this vehicle as a weapon, or no? Dr. Doug may be having some connection issues. He's been bouncing. He's been in here twice.
All right. So going on what I said, if you end up charging him, are you going to charge him with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill?
In Texas,
we don't have intent.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, in Texas, in Texas, you have different degrees of intent when it comes to assault. It's actually you can get all the way down to reckless. Okay, and reckless is basically unintentional, but your behavior was to such an extent you knew or should have known that it could have ended up causing assault to another individual. So intent is an element, but it's not actually required. But in that particular thing, in that particular issue, I think you're looking at at least in Texas, that's going to be aggravated assault of a public servant with a deadly weapon enhancement. So you're probably looking at a 5 to 99 first-degree felony.
For sure, in the great state of Texas, is exactly what your exposure would be if you did some silly shit like that.
Now in Texas, would they handle that the same with him being 14 as opposed to being 18?
Now, technically, Texas, they'll treat it as air quotes a civil offense. There really aren't, I think, under the age of, or maybe 13 and maybe 13, maybe 14 and older, 13 and younger. There's an age where.
Yeah,
children are not
it's usually going to kick in. It's usually going to kick in at about age 14. That if you have like capital murder, different things like that, they're going to try you as an adult. It's got to be something pretty egregious.
Hang on, doctor. That's not automatic. There has to be a hearing, and a judge has to have the finding that a juvenile.
Oh no, it's extensive. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen.
And most likely it didn't happen in this case. This kid's going to go through some sort of juvenile services. He'll have the government latched to him and his family, at least until he's 18. And then if he wants to keep acting like an ass, they'll be latched to him and his family be released when he's 18. But yeah, he's in some trouble. My point is, I think the charge would be aggravated assault with a deadly weapon by the use of the car. Does Burton, do you want to, you're arguing for, you and I are arguing the same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean that he used the vehicle as a weapon, and so he assaulted at the minimum.
Okay, Bruce Wayne. I'm trying to get like a straw poll on where we're at. Bruce Wayne, where are you at on this?
It's definitely a no bill for me, but to me it looks like he come around that other car. He sees the police car there, and then because he's probably never driven before, he just panics and backs up. I don't know that he meant to hit the other car. But yeah, no. What you guys are saying about it being a deadly weapon is absolutely true.
Well, let's see Bruce's scenario. He's like, "Oh shit, police are coming! There's not a cop behind me," because he knew there was one behind him. Maybe inexperience. Okay, maybe I can see that. Still say the charge would stand: aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, I think it would.
Fidgy.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the charge or anything, but I kind of feel like that was a 14-year-old kid. Not that 14-year-olds don't know how to drive or anything, but I don't think he realized it would go up on the car like that. I don't think his intent was to like go towards the cop with his car, but I think he was trying to. He either got nervous and went in the wrong gear, or he was trying to disable one cop car, just by hitting it, and then that way he had to deal with less. But I don't think he knew that was going to go up on the car like that. That was kind of unusual. But I don't disagree with the charges.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I think that's anybody have any comments before we go to the law enforcement side? Dr. Doug? All right. Let's go to Jason. And I'm not cutting anybody off. If John Cox, you want to add something to it, just speak up. Let's go to Jason if that's not.
I'm good.
No, it's 100% deadly weapon. The one thing that the other officer that was pulling up, I'm not sure why, if I was in that moment and watching my partner squad get run over on the front, I think he had an opportunity to ram that guy in the front, totally justified to box him in right there. And the other thing that scared the shit out of me was the officer with the stop stick string in his hand. I've seen cops lose fingers with the string of the stop sticks in his hand.
Explain that.
Some of them prongs might get stuck in the tire and travel with it. And if that's in your hand, and there was one cop, if they've wrapped the string around their hand, we put the string down, step on it. If the string goes, the string goes. But that I was watching that going, oh my God, that guy's kind of lucky that the prongs came out of the tire. But no, they were fine. Just a couple observations.
That is I hate the stock deploying them. That was one of my least favorite things. Hadn't done it very many times, but yeah, if the what it is, if you don't know, it's a stick that literally has hollow spikes in it. So the theory is it punctures the tire, it opens up a void, several of them, and it deflates the tire rapidly. Therefore, somewhat disabling or reducing the ability of the vehicle. But sometimes when you run over those, they're designed to stick, and then the tubes are designed to come out of the stick that they're in and stay in the tire as it goes. Sometimes they'll stick together. Well, the rope is tied to the stick. The stick goes around the revolution a couple of times with the tire. Then the rope gets tied up into the axle. And this happens very quickly. And if it's got it wrapped around your hand, it'll literally take your hand with you, but you won't go with your hand. It'll separate you from your hand. But
the other thing, too, is he's standing wide open. You get behind. You need cover for that. I mean, I'm talking cover that's going to stop a car. Because some of these guys, if they're fleeing, they'll come after your squad car or you. Just standing there in the open with a string in your hand. I just that the whole point of that.
You know what? I didn't think that was going to be a big deal, but let's go back and watch that again.
Yeah, Jay, that was actually something that caught my eye as well. I have a guy that I know. I went to a school with him out of California that lost a leg trying to stop a port runner out of San Ysidro, California, with a load of dope in the back of the car, because he was out there with a stop stick and just no cover whatsoever, no barrier between him and the moving vehicle, and all that the guy did was just kind of pop to the side real quick and clipped him, and no stop stick and no leg.
Yeah, it's a dangerous maneuver.
Well, this guy doesn't. It doesn't look like he's got it. He's fishing it through his hand, so he doesn't have it wrapped around an appendage, which would be proper. He's standing, looks like, by the front tires of his own squad car, and he did this as a hasty. What else y'all want from this guy?
Your squad car's not cover there. Your squad car is going to kill you if he decides to ram that squad doing 50.
Okay, I get you. It's not a tree, but it's you do what you got to do in a hasty.
Pit him.
Okay, I just think y'all are being a little harsh tonight, but I'm good with it. You know what? Let's go to where do we want to go next? We're gonna have some tough ones tonight. I'm just letting you guys know. Let's go to San Antonio on Water Drive.
9351 Alpha, be advised, the vehicle is going to be almost halfway submerged in the water. It's going to be on the north end of the park, I believe, by the workout equipment off the trail. Is there anybody in there?
Get out. He says he's the only one.
There's a guy. It's him? That's him?
Yep. That's him. Police is here now.
9351. I got eyes on one male. He's trying to exit the driver's side of the vehicle. Seems to be fine. Sir, are you okay, or are you sure you can move? Is there anyone in the vehicle with you? Careful. Just hold on to the car. Keep making your way, okay?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in the vehicle?
No.
No?
You need a towel?
No.
9351 Alpha. Be advised. Individual is okay. No one else is in the vehicle. He's making his way out right now. You can slow everyone else down. Careful. All right. Okay, hold on. You have a knife in your pocket, buddy. Put it down. Throw it down. 9351 Alpha. I got one at gunpoint. He's got a knife. He's coming towards me. Put down the knife. Please. I don't want to shoot you. What's going on? Please, stop. I don't want to shoot you. Stop. Put the knife down. Stop. Put the knife down, please. Put the knife down.
There's your video. Anybody have any opening comments or things they want to see again? Received a
Was it
gunshot
drugs?
wound, didn't kill him.
In your pocket, buddy. Put it down. Throw it down.
What's your question?
Drugs?
Are you saying so? I can't understand the word you're saying.
Drugs.
Drugs.
I wouldn't be surprised. Could be even mental illness.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it matter? What does that matter?
I don't know. I was just trying to figure out his actions because they were very odd.
Or one failed suicide attempt, so he's going to do suicide by cop.
100%.
I was thinking the same thing.
I wasn't thinking the car going in there was a suicide attempt. That
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, when
Well,
you had to drive across the great wilderness to get there. There's not a road; it's a walk path next to him.
Well, there's a little story to go with that because my brother said when he was in the Army, he was in basic. He said he seen something fly past the window and hit the ground. And he went outside to go check it out. The guy was trying to go back up there again to try again. So this is not far off. I can say that he probably tried to drown himself. That didn't work, and so he pulled out the knife and was going to do what he had to do.
In Texas, they don't have cliffs to drive off, so he just thought he'd go park himself in a pond.
I don't know that he thought out either one of them very well. He wasn't even successful in the second. He didn't die of wounds, so he's still suffering this life as far as we know. Anybody have any issues with what the officers did or the officer?
No.
Negative.
No, Bill. I think she waited too long, though.
No, Bill.
I don't think she waited too long. The reason being, nowadays, when people look at this stuff, they'll try and say, "Why did you do this? Why did you do that?" So she covered herself.
I think she should have given 2 commands. He could have closed that gap in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, but the bullet closed it faster.
You know, I was in a particular place one time in a particular situation in the Army, and I had a company commander screaming at me from a location that was about 35 miles away, telling me to engage. After I sent him a report, he told me to engage an old man that it was shooting rounds in the air. So think about that. You're not there, but you're going to tell someone else to take another person's life. That's kind of the way I feel about it when you guys talk about, well, you should have done it sooner. I think she was justified pretty quick in here, and that she didn't use that justification until she felt in her mind that that's exactly what needed to be done. And I want to play the audio on this after the shots are fired. Let's go now. Let's go.
What's going on? What's going
Listen to the tone of her voice and the demeanor of her speech change as this progresses here pretty quick.
on? Please, stop! Stop! I don't want to shoot you! Stop! 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 Put the knife down!
She goes from high anxiety to almost panic, and it's. I think it's both empathy and fear in her voice, but I don't know that she doesn't. I don't think she has fear for herself. Truly, I think she's fearful about what's happening here. That she's actually shooting this dude.
Stop! Put the knife down, please! Put the knife down! Put the knife down, please! Put the knife down! Down. Throw it down. Throw it down. Throw it
Actually,
down.
I was going to say here, she's backing up, and then she moves to her right. She changes the angle of attack that he would have, and she starts weaving. She starts moving offline before she actually engages. So she's trying not to shoot him. He doesn't give her a chance. He doesn't give her a choice.
Hang on. Do you think that's what that's what she's doing when she makes the right maneuver back to the path?
I don't know if she did it consciously or subconsciously, but it looks like that's.
Let's watch here. Just watch.
There's someone blurred out in the background.
Yeah, she's
just watch.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty serious right about here. She's like, shit, this dude he's got a knife and he's coming at me. I mean, I might have to shoot him. So what does she do? But I got people behind him. If I crack him now, I could hit the bystanders. So what does she do? To the right. Now I got water behind me. I could drop this fool at any point.
She definitely was aware of her backdrop.
I think she did good. It actually wound up, she still had exposure to the back, but I mean, tactically, I thought she did a pretty damn good job.
Same here.
So that's to you, Bruce, on, I think she should have shot him faster. I think she did a good job. I'd be happy working with her. That's my opinion. What do our attorneys think? Y'all suing her?
No, I thought she did a great job. Like, she tried. She's like, dude, just stop. She tried not to shoot him. She did everything she could. And he's just coming at her with a knife. Nah, she did great.
Yeah, this is a hard one for you to disagree with. It's got both good technical points and a good little emotional byline with it too. So this is all about you're checking off. She was emotionally correct and she was tactically correct and legally correct.
Yes,
what she did. Very good. I like it. Go ahead, Dr. Doug.
Ditto on that. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of backing up over, broken up walkways like that. In that kind of situation, because there was just a recent stabbing of a rookie cop out in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Kind of the same kind of a deal, man, where he, allowed this guy to get way too close to him, and that guy was too close.
We're going to review that video tonight.
Are we really? Yeah, it's a sad story, man. It's a sad story, but I wouldn't have any problems working with that officer as well. I'm not happy about the people casting dispersion on the mountains of Texas, however, but that's for a different topic.
Man, don't listen to that fool from Idaho. Most of his conversations are with goats and sheeps. Or is it sheep?
I don't think we have goats or sheep here.
Whatever.
You got both there.
So, where we're going to go? Oh, sorry, Dr. Doug. I actually accidentally took you off stage when I was trying
Conspiracy.
to remove. I was trying to remove the video. Let's go to Fort Worth. Let's just go to Fort Worth.
Out of Texas.
Yo, show me your hands. Stop! Show me your gun down! Drop the gun!
I'm the owner. I'm the owner. I'm the owner.
All right, come on with your hands up.
Yes, sir. Don't scare me, Cosby. Get over here.
Come here with your hands up right now.
Yeah. Walk. I'm the owner. Keep walking.
Try to let me.
Drop it. Drop the phone. Yes, Get your hands
Put the fucking phone down right now.
This is my wife. Get your hands up.
Yes, ma'am.
Walk backwards towards me. Walk backwards towards me. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Go to your knees.
Okay, so this was the business owner that was at his restaurant and doing whatever he wants to do as a free-ass American at night at his business. It probably looks suspicious. Truck backed up to the back of a restaurant. I can see why police officers would make contact. But he's armed, and police bang off a couple of rounds at him, and then they stop. Nobody's injured. Anybody have a first assessment of that? Officers,
why didn't they identify themselves?
Did they not?
I don't think they did. I could be wrong, but I didn't think they did.
Let's play it with some audio and see. Okay, so they're driving by. They see this truck parked in the back of a restaurant. Let me go to my law enforcement officers. Would that get your attention up at, what time is it? At 3:58 in the morning?
Yes. And I would have called the tag in.
Were they called there on an alarm, or was it a suspicious vehicle?
Suspicious vehicle.
Okay.
There is in Texas, you have probable cause. If there's somebody parked at a closed business after hours, that's probable cause to make contact, at least identify who they are. Okay, so this is them walking up. Pistol drawn.
Yo, show me your hands. Stop. Show me your gun down. Drop the gun. I'm the owner. I'm the owner.
I didn't hear I'm the police anywhere in there.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm the owner. Drop the gun. I'm the owner. Your hands. Stop. Show me your gun down. Yo, show me your hands. Stop. Show me your gun. Yo, show me your hands. Stop. Show me your gun down. Yo, show me your hands. Stop. Show me your gun down. Yo, show me your hands. Stop. Show me your. Yo, show me your hands. Stop. Show me your gun down. Drop the gun. I'm the owner. I'm the owner. I'm the owner. All right, come on with your hands up.
Yeah, all that happened so quick.
It does. So Fiji's got an issue. You got an issue with them not announcing that they're the police.
Yeah, dude. I think they should have. For their own safety, I think they should have.
But at what point? Because he come around the van with the gun already drawn and pointing that way to the light. All he sees is a light. He can't tell they're officers.
Which is why they should have announced that they were officers.
Yeah, they got a big
like
brick
right there. There.
But
that's when they should have announced it.
If I'm checking a business and I don't know that there's somebody back there, I'm not going to announce because you could scare off a potential suspect.
And also,
or you could take a shot at the owner,
well,
who has a perfectly legitimate reason for being there,
and for being armed.
I see both, and for being armed.
The owner has a right to be there and be armed.
Oh yeah. I agree. I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, he's at his business and the cop fires off a shot. Nah.
At 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's
don't
know.
He has a right to be there, but what it boils down to is when he comes around to check the perimeter, is he expecting someone to be right there? No. All you can see is that somebody turned around. They both scared each other. So I see no foul in this because
let's go back. One of you guys said something about he sees the flashlight. The flashlight doesn't come on until this is already engaged. There's no light. Light. If you look, look closely, and
yeah,
you'll
about the time
raised his weapon.
About the time he clears the van. So
when we talk over each other, then I don't know who was saying what kind of point, but one of you guys pick it and go with it.
All I'm saying is right when he clears the corner of the van from the officer's body cam perspective, he's looking at a bright ass light, and he knows he's been broken into, so he don't know who's holding the light. I see both sides of it.
Okay, so he's already around the van. The light hits him. He's already cleared the van. He's walking back towards this freezer of the building, kind of the vicinity of the officers. So you can see him there prior to the light coming on. So he wasn't, officers saw movement prior to the light coming out. Looks like maybe he pulled, that's when he clears leather himself. He just sees two guys slipping around the corner there.
Yeah.
Do you think that's reasonable? Do you think it's reasonable behavior on the owner's part?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Okay, did the owner called in for the suspicious vehicle, correct?
No, they're driving by. There's a vehicle parked in the back of a restaurant at 4 a.m. after the business is closed.
Okay, so the owner is not the one that called 911.
No, the owner's just living his life here at 4 in the at his business, doing whatever he's doing.
Lucky he's living his life. He's living his life because that cop's a bad enough shot that, I mean, that's there's opportunity for deconfliction there. Cause I thought that he was the one who was called. Well, if he's calling, don't be running around with a gun in your hand. Cause you're going to take one to the skull.
So who knew that there had already been a breaking and entering? The owner?
Go back to the beginning. Cause I think it was actually an alarm.
Oh, okay.
Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking.
in the written narrative.
In the written narrative just before this.
Yo, show me your hands. Stop. Show me your.
Oh, you're right. Commercial burglar alarm. Okay. Either way, I don't know that changes it for me. I don't think this business owner did a damn thing wrong and shouldn't have had a round popped off at him.
Maybe that's why the owner was there too. The owner got notice of the alarm. Maybe that's why he was there too. And he had absolutely every reason to be there. And it's here right there. As soon as that cop comes around kind of the corner and he shines a light, just say, whatever, is it whatever city they're in? Is it Dallas?
Police would work.
Yeah.
Just get police
But
out your mouth.
either way, just say police, let us see your hands or whatever. But you're just screaming at this guy and he's thinking he's been broken into. He had every right to be there with a weapon to protect himself. And then
Well, you don't know that he's aware of the burglar alarm. He's the one who could have set it off, hit the wrong code.
I know, but I'm just saying, or he could have known about it. And that's why he showed up and he's there too. So he doesn't know the cops are there. He's there.
But he knows the cops are coming. But actually, that changes it for me. If he's there to respond to a burglar alarm as a key holder, he knows how that works. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he should be expecting law enforcement to be there at any time. Whether he calls and says, "Hey, I'm the owner. I'm here. Everything's cool," law enforcement's still going to come check it out.
Bingo.
Yeah, that cop still. I don't like it. They should have announced, and he.
All right. So what are you going to do? You're gonna charge them with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
No, I'm not criminally charging them, but we're gonna have some depositions.
Sentenced to extensive time at the range.
That's what you do. You're going to sue them?
No, they don't need to spend time at the range. Otherwise, the owner wouldn't be there.
I'm trying to figure out where depositions come in. You're going to sue them?
This is why we got qualified immunity.
I mean, I don't know. Qualified immunity. That was stupid. That he took a shot unnecessarily at this guy. The guy was exercising his right to be on his property and to be armed, and this cop shot at him for it. Nah.
So you're not even gonna tell me whether you're gonna sue him or not. You're just
I'm
right in front of me. You're
going to
for what?
I'm going to go for a 1983 case. They're interfering with his rights right here by shooting at him.
Do the police officers have rights to be standing where they're standing? Do they have the authority?
Yeah, I'm guessing they do.
Then your qualified immunity is going to win every time.
But they didn't know who he was, lawyer Joe.
I don't give a shit that you are allowed to have a weapon in your hand.
Nobody's saying the business owner did anything wrong. I think it's kind of one of those situations. I want to hear police. I would gig them on that as a supervisor, but I don't think it's criminal. I would gig them on that. But aside from that, man, it's kind of like going around the corner and two people bump into each other. But this time, these three people bump into each other and everybody had a gun. I think the outcome is good. Wish there wouldn't have been a round popped off, but I think the outcome worked out well. But I'm not saying the business owner did anything wrong, but the officers didn't either. I don't think there's a lawsuit, especially it being a burglar alarm.
But the cop shot at the guy before. He didn't even give the guy a chance to react or to put his hands up or anything. He just shot him.
We've talked about action versus reaction. Which one's faster?
Okay, but here's my problem with something like that, though. The cop shoots off around and shoots at the guy. If he hits the guy, the cop's cleared. If the guy pops off around and hits the cop, the guy is going to get into trouble. And that is
why?
For shooting a cop.
Okay. Well, let's do this almost like it's legal. Let's flip it over, like I asked before. So, do the police officers have legal authority to be where their feet stand? Because if you have the legal authority to be where your feet stand, you have the right to defend yourself. So now the whole defense thing comes into play. What would a reasonable person would have believed at the time? So let's flip that over now on the business owner's side. Did he have legal authority to be there?
Yes, it's his property.
Did he have legal authority to be armed?
Yes.
So he's in the same boat. No foul. It's kind of one of those things, in my opinion. I don't think either party is necessarily wrong or negligent to the point that there would be a courtroom involved, either civilly or criminally.
I think this is a shit cop who doesn't need to be doing that job.
I know what you think. What could you prove?
Can I get just a real quick story? I had a man, my favorite 44 Magnum, right? It was stainless steel, beautiful gun, big old hoss ass gun. And all of a sudden on a Thursday night, I get the doorbell ring, and I'm in Houston, right? My kids are asleep upstairs, everybody's home, so I'm answering the door. I'm like looking around with the cameras, and I answer the door. And I have before I answered the door, I kind of peeked out the window, and splayed out in a nice little formation were 5 Houston police officers. So discretion being the better part of valor, okay, I decided, I should probably, put this hand cannon to the side, because I have every single right to open up my front door with that gun in my hand. Okay, I'm on my property, so on and so forth. However, okay, at the risk that one of those guys was not as bad a shot as the guy in the video, I decided, you know what? Let me just put this thing down. The whole thing lynches in my mind is whether or not that owner knew that the cops were coming, that the cops had also been notified. If they did, he really shouldn't have been out there with a gun like that. He really shouldn't. And look, uh, being dead and having your family sue on a 1983 case, that's wonderful, but you're still dead.
Yeah, and I don't just and the alarm does change it for me, but it doesn't. It changes it against the owner. I'm less comfortable with his
Absolutely
actions if he's there responding to an alarm, because, and I think you may have to be in law enforcement and go to these. They have like for a business to have a burglar alarm in the city, the city's going to have to respond to. They got to get a permit. They've got rules. What's going to happen when one's triggered, who's the key holder. And if you can't get over that key holder, you got to have like 2 or 3 key holders in case you get there. The officers need to get in. They don't want to make a bunch of time to clear a burglar alarm. If you get too many, they'll charge you for them. So there is a whole procedure that goes with it that a business owner is going to know if he owns a business in Fort Worth, a restaurant in Fort Worth, and has a burglar alarm, because he has to get a license to do so. So it does change for me if that was a burglar alarm and he is there because he's aware of that alarm. Now, it could be possible that he's there, thought he had a door shut, or thought he hit a code, or even a malfunction of his system, and the alarm went off and he was unaware. But if he was aware, that changes it for me. There's less likely I'll be looking at Lawyer Joe in a civil lawsuit.
Now, do the officers not have a duty to identify themselves before opening fire?
They do, but this is what go with the surprise aspect. You got me. Some 2 people walking down 2 hallways. They're going to intersect, and they come around the corner at the same time. You have the startle effect. Police officers get that as well. They gave commands. They didn't announce themselves, but they gave commands. But I don't think it's 1 criminal. 2, I don't even think it would get close to violating policy, because it's just like the surprise factor, I think, is in there, and it applies for both parties.
Bruce, don't act like you didn't see Scooby-Doo a million times. They always did that.
I've never actually seen that show.
Oh, Bruce, you need to stop. Seriously.
Let's go to John and Jason. What do you think, John?
I think both of them are good. I understand it. It was just a bad situation. I'm not going to indict. I'm not going to sue anybody.
Jason.
So you respond to a burglary alarm of an open door or whatever. I think it was an open door call. You have 100% reason to be there. Guaranteed the owner of the store probably got a phone call as a key holder to that building. So the owner of the store goes there. The owner of the store also knows that the cops are on their way. When you walk around that corner and you see somebody, you don't know if that is friend or foe. And you see a gun in his hand and you give him commands and they don't follow your commands, I am completely fine with that shot being fired. In that moment, it's a bang, bang. It's, oh shit, there you are. It's not like you're executing a search warrant or you're busting in a door yelling police, 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 on the ground, on the ground, on the ground. Completely different scenario. I think the cops did fine. I have 0 issues with it. I put the onus on the store owner here that the cops are coming. Guaranteed you got a phone call. That's why you're there from the alarm company. When a flashlight's pointing in your face saying drop the gun, who in the hell else is that going to be? So I'm totally fine with how the cops handle this. I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I told you about, well, I told you about an investigator that I worked with that took 10 shots at a guy closing in on him from 10 to 15 feet and missed him every time. So I think there's a startle factor that goes in there. But thank goodness in this case that nobody was harmed. Everybody gets to walk away, and hopefully some lessons learned. Next time burglar alarm goes off as the key holder, you maybe contact your burglar alarm, because there's a communication loop that goes through dispatch back out to the officers arriving. And I think as an officer, you try to get police out there, maybe just hesitate on the trigger a bit. But I assign blame on neither side. I mean, both were fine. Let's go to Seattle. See how they do trespassing in Seattle.
This already looks bad.
Yeah, just walk up that way. There's a gate over there. On your left, there's a door right there. And that should get you out, all right? Hey, right there. Go out that way. Where are you going? There's no need to come back over here.
Hey.
No, just... It might be a little bit off there, Nilo. It might be a little bit off. So just...
Go ahead. No.
Go right. Hey,
Whoa.
Stay right there.
What's the knife? Oh, what's the knife? Put the knife away. Hey, go ahead, put the knife away. Put the knife away.
Come on, man. No, just put the knife away. Let's back up. Come on, man. We don't want to hurt you.
Hey, back up.
Is somebody on the radio? Anybody got a taser?
Yeah, I got taser.
Come on, hey! Come on, man.
Southwest Precinct parking lot. He has a knife. He's walking towards us. We're giving him verbal commands. Just here. Hey, stay down on the ground, please. Go ahead, put the knife down. Go ahead. Whoa. Stop right
No,
there.
he might have a
Give me
40. Yeah, Nilo, why don't you come over here, Nilo? Hey, Nilo, you want to come over here? So we're all over here.
Yeah, go ahead, put the knife down. Hey, anybody's car's locked?
Hey, everybody step back. Let's just... Come on, man. All right.
Drop the knife. Hit him with the 40. 40. Watch out. Stay on the ground.
Any parts anybody wants to see again?
I got to run. I'll be right back. No bill.
Okay, we got a no bill from Corey. Some of these spots. Burton, nothing.
I'm going to no bill that one.
No issues with officers' response. Fidgy.
I think he should have checked him out in the first place, but like I don't know why he was like, okay, there's the door, leave.
Yeah, just walk up that way.
That seemed a little strange to me, but Bill.
Gate over there.
This guy accomplished his
On your left
goal.
is the door right there.
Unfortunately.
And that should get you.
So what are you saying? They should have approached him more aggressively rather than just say, "Hey, leave."
Yeah, well, I don't think they should have just been like, "Hey, leave." The guy climbed a fence to get into a police parking lot. So to me, they should have, "Hey, what are you doing here? What's your name?" Gotten some ID, couldn't check him out a little bit better from the get go. But I mean, if he was waiting for other officers to get there or something, then I can see that too.
Someone called and said that this individual left his vehicle at Home Depot. You can see Home Depot in the back of the video, and proceeded to enter a secured Seattle police facility by climbing a fence. So no change there.
I think.
So
I think the whole point of him climbing the fence into the police parking lot is kind of that's enough to warrant suspicion, don't you think? To at least have a conversation.
So it sounds like you want the social workers to get out there.
Maybe that's what they were waiting on, the social workers to show up to save the day.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm actually saying that more for the officer's protection. What the hell is he doing in a police parking lot? He climbed a fence to go into a police parking lot. You don't just tell someone who does something like that to leave. You check him out.
Okay, well, officer number one, I think has an inkling that this guy is not right, because he warns another officer that gets out and goes to approach him. He said, "Be careful. I think he's a little off." So I think these officers observed this guy got a mental issue here.
So, like I said, if he was waiting for more officers to come around there to deal with him, I have no problem with that. But otherwise, I would have. It seems to me like that officer would have been questioning him.
Might be a little bit off there, Milo.
Okay, so you know Bill?
No, Bill.
Okay.
He didn't really do anything wrong. I just would have preferred that.
Well, I couldn't tell by your statement there. I couldn't figure it out. But
sorry, I really wasn't condemning him at all.
Okay. Bruce Wayne, what do you think?
I'm a no Bill this one. Unlike the last video, he knew they were officers. They gave him adequate time to respond to demands. Definitely no Bill.
Now, according to Doc, who lives in Oregon, another communist state that's adjacent to Washington, says that they have to ask a trespasser to leave, give them opportunity to leave. Property owners have no rights. Well, it's the same way in Texas, with the exception of a fenced-in area. Then that's your warning that you're not supposed to be there. So in Texas, they could have arrested him for jumping the fence to get into this contained area. And even if it was a car lot, it didn't have to be the police station, any fenced-in area, your backyard. Somebody jumps into the backyard, police catch them there, they can arrest them for trespass, when you say they're not supposed to be there. So I don't know if that's the way it is in Washington State, or even they get that, maybe they get that lead way with jumping a fence. Dr. Doug, Joe, Jason, or John, y'all want to comment on that for how trespassing is done in your states?
In my state, depending on if it's private property like a home or something, I mean, we have standard ground and castle doctrine. So if you jump my fence to come into my house and my dogs don't eat you.
That's not the question.
Well,
the question is legally, what is a police? When is it trespassing and when is it not? If somebody walks into my front yard and I have no fence and they stand on my front porch, are they trespassing?
Yes.
How are they supposed to know?
If it's private property, it's not your property, and you weren't invited onto the property, then you are not welcome on the property and you're trespassing.
Okay. I think in most states you have to have a fence. Even if you hang so much as a string around your fence, then that is trespassing. But if there's no string,
every state tells you how to mark it. I think purple is in every state, and I don't forget what it is. How off the fence posts or trees, you mark them every so often with purple paint. You're supposed to know that that is private property. and they don't want you on it. If somebody puts a fence up, if I put a fence up in my front yard, someone jumps over and lock the gate, someone jumps over the fence, that's trespassing the second they do that. If they come and knock on my door and I open the door and said, hey, I don't want you on my property, I want you to leave, and then they refuse to leave, they have the opportunity to leave and they refuse to leave, then that's when it becomes trespassing. And you'll see that in a lot of these videos with police officers go to someone's house. Well, they don't want you here. They're asking you to leave. And then when they refuse to leave is when they go to jail. But they have to be given the opportunity to not be trespassing by leaving. And it may be different in Ohio. It seems pretty. How is one to know if they're knocking on the door to see if you want cable service that's trespassing because you didn't want them there because you've never met them?
No, I'm talking about like jumping. Like I have a 6-foot privacy fence. If you jump my fence and try to get into, if you're up on my patio and you're knocking on my door.
Look, I wasn't asking for scenarios. Seriously, I was asking what is the Ohio law? How do they treat that? They have to give you an opportunity to leave, and is a fence the warning? That's I guess my point. If you've got a fence and someone jumps it, that's your warning. The fence was your warning. If you're on the other side, now that's trespassing. If there is no fence and you just walk up and knock on my door, I have to give you notice that your presence is not welcome, and me as the property owner in control of this property have the right to do that. Then I can call the police if you refuse to leave and have you arrested.
Yeah, that's what it is in Ohio. I was conflating something. No, the fence is considered a warning. It means, hey, stay out, keep out. But my front door, if you're coming up to it to sell something, say, or whatever, no, I can open the door, but I have to say, hey, you're trespassing, leave.
So the trespasser has to have warning, whether it be by fence, sign, purple lines, a string on the fence, if that's acceptable, or verbal. They have to have a warning that their presence is not welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
How do they determine trespassing on like a construction site, say?
Usually have a construction fence.
Fences around the construction site.
Look, if you jump a fence, the law looks at it like this. They put a fence up for a reason. It wasn't for you to jump it. If they wanted you to jump it, or if they wanted you in there, they'll have a gate and the gate will be unlocked. But even then, going through a gate on private property you're still kind of the same way.
And it keeps down the attractive nuisance. You know, there's a lot of ways to get hurt on a construction site. So that keeps kids from wandering in and what have you as well.
B is building a moat around her house right now. That is 100% enough warning anyone needs. If they're on the wrong side of that moat, B can handle business with some trespassing.
Damn straight. Hey, I've got the one question I guess I would ask for some of the LEOs. You know, I don't know. I'd like to get the officer the benefit of the doubt. You know, that maybe he didn't know what he just happened to encounter the guy in the parking lot, but the call was that the guy was suicidal. Okay. And so between, you know, you have no idea what that guy is as a threat. You know, you can't assume that he's a threat to himself. You can't assume that he's not a threat to other people. And them just essentially saying, hey, would you go kill yourself or take out whoever you plan on taking out with you? Could you do it in the Home Depot parking lot and not our parking lot? If they were aware that you had a suicidal subject, just simply pushing him in the opposite direction is pretty unsatisfactory.
No, and
thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
I don't know if they were doing that, or I don't know really what they were their goal was and how much they knew about this. I mean, you think about it. If it's a police parking lot, this officer could have been standing outside prior to any dispatch call that came out.
Yeah, just smoking a cigarette or whatever, and just happened to see the guy.
That's one scenario. The other is that he did know, and they had something in place. They know where his car is at from the call. It's in the Home Depot parking lot. So if he walks out, he's on foot unless he goes back to the Home Depot parking lot. I don't know what they were working on, but you notice he didn't break contact with him. And I agree with Fidgy. He didn't handle it like a lot of police. Hey, like, yo, dude, what'd you jump in the fence for? Come here. You know, we're gonna check you out. You're jumping over into a personal vehicle parking lot of a police department. We're gonna be concerned about that. So I think they either knew about it or this guy at least picked up on this something wasn't right with Mr. Red Shirt.
Hey, Jason.
So if you look at I found the Ohio general statute on that. So I know we're talking about Seattle, but same scenario, but in Ohio, there is no trespassing because it's publicly owned.
Say again.
So in Ohio, the same scenario, a public agency it's in custody of a public agency, you cannot charge somebody with trespassing.
There are no
That's-
areas. There's no areas within that pub, so I can walk into the jail then.
No, that's not what it says at all. It says it is no defense to a charge under this section that the land or premises involved was owned, controlled, or in custody of a public agency. That means if you are trespassing on a public, if it's owned by the public,
Oh, I
you
misread
could
that.
still
I'm
be
sorry.
trespassed.
Yeah, I'm
Look,
sorry.
a good rule of thumb: if you're trying to stay out of jail for trespassing, if there's a fence there, they don't want you in there. You're not welcome. So, do we have any bills on this or any issues with the law enforcement's response?
No, I want to ask Jason. He said y'all are missing something. I want to know what we're missing.
Well, I was going to get to Jason, but I've had to get through you first. We good?
All right. So when the officers, I don't know if they had the information that we saw up front that this guy was suicidal. And regardless, it doesn't matter. Guys walking around, they're asking for less lethal. The one guy with the taser, put it away. You're 60 yards. Your strings ain't going to reach that far. I don't know what the hell you're pulling that thing out for. They're going to get cut off before they even get to the guy. Then they say, we need a 40. Guy grabs a 40. The guy actually, I believe, he says he's deploying the 40. Well, they set themselves up in a spot where the people on the other side of the squad car, all they hear is a bang. They don't know if that's, to me, I think the 40 was fired. And if you've never heard a 40, it's a pretty loud pull of the trigger. And then shots are fired after that. So part of me thought this was just a sympathetic reaction on the cops, that they deployed less lethal, and somebody who can see that the 40 was fired, they start shooting. I'm not saying they did wrong or right. I'm just saying, to me, it looked kind of like a sympathetic, oh shit, my partner's shooting, I need to shoot.
Let's watch some of that. Let's see your points there. Okay, officer number 3.
40! Watch out! Watch out!
Okay, he says 40.
And one round out.
Yep, and then boom, 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 boom.
Okay, let's see where that's at.
40! Watch out! Watch out!
All right, he engages the subject, I'll call him. He engages the subject with one round, but the subject continues around the vehicle, masking his fire, so he can't get another shot there. Now let's listen for the 40 in the succession of shots here at the ones that use lethal. I don't know that I have a problem with it, Jason. The officer to the right, we don't see body camera. He's the one who has the best vantage point on him, and he's the one who's
and he's running too.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying the 40 goes. Maybe it missed, but to me, when I watched the first time from the 40 cal officer,
he thought it was sympathetic fire.
Yeah, he fired, then bam, 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 right afterwards.
Now, I think he announced 40. I think they knew it was 40. But this cat is closing in on that 21 feet pretty quick with this knife in his hand.
I'm a no bill all day. I just wanted to bring up the one angle kind of said.
And I'm pretty critical of West Coast officers. I've been that way. You guys do things slightly different than we do it on this side of the mountains. But I'm pretty critical of them. But I think they actually did a pretty good job on that.
I don't disagree. It was just an observation.
Yeah, everybody just wants to be critical tonight. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in Illinois. This won't be a gunfight because they got to have a FOID card, and we know that everybody is righteous if they're carrying a firearm in Illinois.
Hello.
Went in that front door there.
This one right here?
Yeah, with a chainsaw.
Okay.
Running chainsaw. He tried to cut that tree.
He went into that door right there?
Yeah, that front entrance door.
This one with the pillars?
Yes.
The white pillars? Yes. Okay. Can you do me a favor and just hang out here for a second? Okay.
1358. Hello. Tell me to send the log out to someone else.
Just hold it for now. How long ago did he go in there? Okay. Okay.
This Illinois officer sounds like he's Canadian.
Hey now.
Oh, those are columns, not pillars.
Hey! Hey, what's going on with this guy?
I don't know. He came in here.
Hey, can you hold this door open?
Yes,
More police
please.
are coming.
1393.
Go ahead.
There's no answer at the call to the business.
Hold that door open. Hold that door open. 10-4.
This is an old folks' home.
He went that way.
Units didn't come in. Can you step it up?
You ever flagged a guy in there with chains on? He's been fired.
Hey! Hey, drop the taser. Drop the taser. Or drop it. Drop it. On the ground. Get back. Hey, drop. Hey. Hey. Step it up. Hey, drop the chainsaw. One at taser point.
Oh my God.
Hey, drop it.
Fuck, light him
Drop
up.
it. I got one at taser point. Step it up. We'll be in the front lobby. Drop it.
Dude has a chainsaw, cop has a taser.
Yes.
Step it up.
He didn't even have my lady. Where is she?
Step it up.
Where's my?
Drop it.
Dude, I just want my wife, man. I just want. Listen, man. I don't know what you do.
Taser up, Taser. Hey. Hey, right here. He's right here.
Come on. Get him out. Come here. He's trying to get inside. Oh, shit.
Finally, a real officer arrived on the scene.
We're going to St. Charles.
Drop it! Get him over.
North Avenue in St. Charles. Attention all special attention St. Charles units. Shotgun dispatching a shots fired at 975 North Avenue. We're going to St. Charles. Responding as acknowledged with EPA.
I like the old guy sitting in the wheelchair there. I'm guessing he's a veteran because he doesn't seem flinch. Come on.
Watch out. Move your. Hey, get out of here. Come on, buddy. Come here. Gotcha. Roll medics. Woo! Hey, right here. He's right here.
Come on. Get him out. Come here. He's trying to get inside. Oh, shit.
Shots fired!
Oh man.
That guy's got to be a veteran.
Nice man.
He's not even phased by that shit.
He's just mad because this dude's in his way. Yeah, roll him over to the left. Let me get by him.
He's got Pinnacle to get to. Come on.
Just another day at the nursing home.
Did anybody else see Psycho?
See what?
How about just the Texas Chainsaw Murder, man?
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's coming at you.
Come here.
All right. Any parts anybody wants to see again, or before we start tearing this one up?
So, question that you might get to: after he dropped the chainsaw, did he have another weapon?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to know what employee keyed him in.
Hey, Joe, go back to the screen right before this one, please.
Let's go to your point on he had dropped the chainsaw before the fatal shot because he was still alive when the last shot hit him. So I guess we call it the fatal shot. Was gunned down in the hallway. You think that could be excessive force, more force needed than to neutralize the threat?
If he did not have another weapon, yeah, because I mean, at that point, he was no longer
imposed no harm to himself or others.
I mean, I don't know.
Think about it. The old man in the wheelchair. How much pressure would it take to do serious injury to him?
No, I know, and I'm thinking about where they were, the people. I get what you're saying. I'm just, whew.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in.
Well, I'm gonna say one thing. When he was trying to start that chainsaw up and he started it up, I'd have had no problem with him laying rounds into him right then and there.
Oh yeah.
I say no, Bill. Even though he dropped the chainsaw, I still figured he was a threat to even just grabbing someone or hurting someone. Even knowing after the fact that he was on methamphetamines, he was high. We knew something was clearly wrong with him. But yeah, he wound up posing a danger well beyond, not even beyond, but before he ran into the other parts of the hallway.
You're talking about when it's one officer, one suspect or subject. You think that officer should have handled business before the other police even had a chance to get there because the use of deadly force condition existed?
Yes, because I think it becomes a public safety at that point. You have a man wielding a chainsaw, trying to started it up.
Do you think the officer has a duty?
Do I think he has a duty? Yes.
Yeah, he waited till he got it started before he did anything. That was crazy.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Did you ask me, does he have a duty to wait till he starts the chainsaw up?
Does the officer have a duty to try to preserve life inside this nursing home?
Yes. Yes, he does have a duty to try to preserve life in his nursing home.
Do you think he did that?
Crack is whack.
No, because now this is one thing I do want to ask. At this point right now, is he trying to deploy the taser? Was it ineffective?
Now, the taser was effective. The officer's response after the taser deployment was ineffective because he didn't go hands-on. He could maintain back. And I'm going to back up at whether his hands are in possession of that chainsaw or not. He's in a building that is full of elderly people, frail people, that even over the age of 65 in most states, you get a bigger, longer stay in the penitentiary if you do violent crimes with them. Okay. With a chainsaw, I don't need much more than that with an officer who's not complying on the first thing. I think I'm ready to go deadly, but absolutely I would probably lit him up almost on sight with the with the taser. And if he got up after the taser, I would have shot him here. And even still, this officer's still hand in taser. He always got his gun out now. But he didn't clear leather for a long time. Still doesn't close with him, and he's literally waiting till the real police got there. The guy in the hat, he's the real police. This guy should have been a nurse. This police officer we watched, first responding officer, should have been a nurse.
Yeah, even before he took off running to the what appears to be the right or their left, they could have took the shot there, but it was just like they were kind of dancing with him.
As soon as he started trying to start that chainsaw with people around him, he should have been taken down.
Yeah, that should have been the last bit.
Well, keep in mind there were quite a few elderly people in that room where he was.
With the chainsaw?
To gun him down, to gun him down in front of them. I think that's probably why the officer hesitated at that point.
You mean
Not later. I mean, when he was trying to
hold up. You think it would be too traumatic, Fidgy?
I do.
What do you think they think when he swung that chainsaw around, hit some old lady in the head?
I agree with that too, but I mean, I'm not saying. I'm saying that if that were me, I would probably hesitate and consider that for a second. So maybe he did the same. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he definitely got the hesitation part down.
Yeah.
He definitely had the hesitation part. As soon as he started pulling that cord on that chainsaw, he should have hit him with the taser. When he went to the ground, if he got back up, come up with lethal force.
Another mental note is to see how fast he closed the distance on him with that chainsaw.
Yeah.
That is something that I'm probably going to use in my class. Just look how quick
that was. A second and a half, maybe second.
If that, he covered 20 feet really quick. And if that chainsaw was running, you're looking at Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Look how far away he is when he turns the corner. Suspect is on the other side of the doorway, the foyer area. And really, at a second is what it took him to get there. A second with a chainsaw in his hand.
I'm looking at the body cam when he done that.
I'm sorry, that's some scary shit. He should have, like I said, as soon as he started pulling that cord, you should have hit him with the taser. If he got up after that, take him out.
I kind of agree with that. Drop him with a taser, but he doesn't get off the floor. Either he gets off the floor in handcuffs or he doesn't get off the floor at all. He dies there. Squirrelnet says there were people there, but at the time he could have tased him. They were still a safe distance. Once the guy started moving towards him, it was too late. I don't disagree with that. There was definitely some background issues that you'd have to deal with on that, but there were opportunities, and he could have taken opportunity to place himself between into that room, but he doesn't do that. What do you think, Bruce Wayne? What are your issues?
Well, we're not here to talk about my issues. I am really curious though, like because they got someone manning that door to wave in families and visitors, and they see this guy with the chainsaw, and they're like, he's probably just here to visit someone. That blows my mind. But yeah, no, he waited way too long. All those elderlies around, and he just kept tugging on that pull rope, and I expected him to pull off to drop him with the taser, and he just waited till he got it started. That was crazy. No bill, but I don't think he needs to be working in law enforcement.
Yeah, either nursing or maybe cameraman. He got some good footage, but I don't think law enforcement is his gig. So, Lawyer Joe.
Yeah, the first cop was just, you're going at a guy with a chainsaw with a taser. I said that as soon as I saw it. I'm like, no, that seems stupid. Yeah, that guy he could have gotten people hurt or killed. And then the idiot with the chainsaw, he ran like into that one cop with him and hurt him, didn't he? Like that, the cop.
No, the chainsaw wasn't up. The cop in the cap is the one who I believe delivered either the lethal shots or all the shots. He shot him as he run towards him. He drops the chainsaw. He turns around and engages him at this doorway here and drops him with locked legs dead.
Okay. Either way, he did a great job, but this first cop needs to go be a mall cop or something. I don't know. But
Maybe Illinois runs like scouts. They send out scout cops, and because they don't have enough real police officers, so they try to just move the police officers. Like, oh, this is a real call, so we need the real police officer here. And the real cop got here. Watch this guy's legs. Spirit left his body before he hit the ground.
I just like the old dude said, I can't get him. I guarantee that guy's a veteran because he's just like, nah, he's not even phased. It's like, God damn it, I got peanut.
He wanted to go play bingo.
Well, I'd be like,
this guy had
damn, man,
right
you could have shot me at the same time. I'm sitting here in this chair in this no folks home. Just kill me. Shoot me, man. Shoot me.
But no bill on any of them. The first cop just needs to be bitch slapped and fired.
See the porter come and get the old man. Let's go see if they got any cheesecake, Bob. Jello. You love Jello.
Hey,
Bob's about to have flashbacks to Korea.
We got breaking news. George Foreman just died.
I like George Foreman. I'm sad to hear that.
I did too. Rip George Foreman.
Thanks for cluing us in on that. Jason, you want to
sad news.
I didn't hear all your comments, but I've never been so frustrated watching a cop respond to something in my life. That was horseshit. You might as well. It's like watching a guy load up a 12 gauge to shoot you in the head. Like, good Lord, dude. That was horrible.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's another example on we have police officers that are scared. We have, and it's just not a business. I'm not saying fear is not part of it. It is, and everyone has it. But when it paralyzes your action, I think you're in the wrong line of work. Well, let's go back to San Antonio on a barricaded person.
Damn, y'all shooting somebody every day, aren't you?
It's Texas.
Oh, he putting on his gloves before he drives.
San Antonio 911, this is Liliana, D&E Police, Fire, EMS.
Probably the police. I'm over here at apartments at Stone Oak, right by the golf course. I'm fixing to shoot myself. And they better be careful. I have high-power rifles and everything. If they come at me, I'm coming at them.
You blame him for gloving up now?
Just shoot yourself and stop bothering people.
I need the police. Emergency, hurry. My son has my gun and he's outside. He's shooting.
Thank you, monitoring the shooting squad that we got in.
Your vehicle's facing that building. Is that the building in question, or it's the one directly to your left?
Should we stage? We need to get her out of here.
No, directly ahead and to the left is the apartment on the bottom.
I'll go with you.
Okay, copy.
I'm hit!
James, where are you at? Ferguson, where are you at? We're at the building in front of his. We're by the southern corner.
Eagle, he is in the back of that building pointing the gun at me. He's in the back.
Clear.
You got a drone with night vision.
You got a couple hits.
The additional officers or the FP?
Eagle, I think we might have more officers hit. They took rounds and there were shots fired again.
Rescue, I need to know if officers are down or not. As soon as you come in, it's going to be towards building 10. He's shooting outside the window. We got 2 officers shot. We need that armor in front of that window.
Obstruction. They're moving backwards. I'm hit. I'm hit.
Okay, that's what we've got. Suspect dies from wounds, 7 police officers injured, non-life-threatening injuries. Where do we want to start? We want to start with the 911 calls? Do we want to start with first response? Anybody have an opinion jumping out at them?
I do. I feel the same way that I think Lawyer Joyce said. If you're gonna end it, just end it. Just go ahead and do it.
Don't be
You have
calling
to involve
911.
everyone else into your stuff, and then the police officers are there. Well, he wanted to die. All right, but yeah, he should have just ended it himself.
Not an airport. We don't need your departure notice.
That was my computer starting up.
Okay. And Larry Joe, Eagle is actually an airframe helicopter. That's not a drone.
Oh.
That's bit larger agencies, especially in Texas, they have an air wing.
Oh, that's really cool. It just seems so smooth and steady, and helicopters don't usually necessarily come across like that.
That FLIR module that's stuck on the front of those is pretty damn good.
I do
awesome.
I do want to say something else to it. I would think that, when you have a situation like this, drones can be very effective, whether you have a speaker on it, if there's one on it. And they got drones that have explosives in them. Hey, it minimizes the risk of the officer and takes out the subject. That's just my thought.
You said use a hand grenade on them?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go down the line. Bruce.
No bill.
Fitchy.
Yeah, no bill. Did it say at the end that those 2 officers were okay, or?
It was 7 officers actually shot, and they were all non-life threatening. So yeah, everyone's good. Released from the hospital, cleared.
Good. Yeah, definitely no bill.
Burton, what do you think? We'll let Burton ponder a bit longer. Lawyer Joe?
Yeah, no bill. This idiot wanted to kill himself, so he put a whole bunch of people in this apartment complex in danger. He put the lives of the cops in danger. Just absolutely ridiculous. No bill on any of them, and the guy got what he wanted.
He went out in a very exciting way. John Cox, North Carolina. What do you think?
Yeah, no bill. That was bad. But no bill.
Okay.
Obviously.
Jason.
Cops did what they could. No bill for me at all.
I think the only critique I've got is I don't like their stack when they were all in a bunch when they got engaged. It's really policey, and that's anti like military tactics. You always have somebody. I don't think they had any cover. I think they all stacked and went out into the open and were engaged at the same time. Only criticism I have. Other than that, I thought they did a pretty good job, and San Antonio's definitely got the assets to handle a situation like that.
And we may not know, but did they know exactly where he was?
Yeah, that Eagle was telling them.
Okay.
They were calling out the window. And I've actually been in not this exact same, well, pretty similar scenario, except the subject was in an apartment, and we had 3 officers down with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. And I was on SRT that responded to the said situation. So you get there, you're trying to figure out, you're not there to try to kill someone, gun them down. But it gets pretty frantic when you have officers that are injured and you're in this type of situation. But this air asset, I think, did a good job. They knew where he was at. All right, I'm saving the last 30 for this video. This is going to be one I think we're going to talk about for a minute. So let's go to Las Cruces, New Mexico.
On February 11th, 2024, authorities...
Concern here. My husband and I own a business property, and at the moment it's vacant. But we've been having a lot of trouble with homeless people. In the past, they had broken windows, and, I've reported and everything. But now, yesterday, my husband told the guy that he could not stay there, We're not there right now, but a friend of ours that just passed by says that he's back. Is there any way that I can have one of the officers that may be riding by there confront him?
Sure.
It'll help.
Sure. Do you know what they're wearing?
A black hoodie.
Okay. They're headed that way now, so they should call soon.
Before the officer arrives, someone matching the description of the suspect is seen by passerby starting a fire on the private property. He's spotted again mere moments before all hell breaks loose, practicing his karate kicks. The person filming these clips will soon play a critical role in what unfolds next.
Bro's doing like karate or something.
Shadowboxing?
35-year-old Jonah Hernandez is the officer en route, with no idea about the imminent danger he's about to walk into.
Central 97. How's it going, boss? You been staying here for a while? What's up? This is your place? So you're the one who called?
What's that?
You're the one who called?
I didn't call.
Huh?
I didn't call nobody.
Without warning, the suspect charges Jonah, stabbing at him with a knife. Though he attempts to flee, Jonah is knocked down and struck multiple times. The suspect can be heard saying, "The f*** are you? You're not even real." Nearby witnesses see the attack and act quickly.
Drop it! Call 911! Hey! Call 911!
Officer, hey. Hey, where are you bleeding? Sir! Officer! Hey! Hey! Hey!
The man attempting to aid Jonah is Isaiah Astorga. He filmed the suspect just before Jonah arrived. Immediately, the call goes out that a police officer has been injured, and authorities in the surrounding area rush to the scene.
We had several callers calling in stating Amador and Valley that the officer was possibly stabbed in the neck and the male suspect is down.
Isaiah desperately tries to keep pressure on Jonah's wounds, explaining what happened as help begins to arrive.
Yeah, I shot him like 3 or 4 times. He's stabbed in the neck really bad.
Where's the radio? Where's the radio?
Right here, right here.
Okay.
No.
Say, brother, Crystal BD.
No, he's bleeding really bad. He was stabbed
Come on,
in the
brother.
neck.
Brother, please stay with us, man.
Hey,
The guy...
stay with us, man. got pressure.
Put him on the side. Put him on the side. Put him on the side, man. He's choking in the blood.
I'm trying. It's right where my arm is. Are you ready?
All right, ready? Let go.
And his back of the head, it's like sliced open.
Stay right here, Jonah, all right? Jonah! Jonah!
Officer Hernandez will stay by Jonah's side for the entirety of this ordeal. While Officer Hernandez begins life-saving measures, other officers flood the area.
Where's the guy at? Put him on the side, man.
This is my boyfriend's gun that he used to shoot him.
Hey, oh.
Get him close. 911 Central, we have a male down, and we need fire expedited.
Within the chaos, one of the bystanders, Isaiah's girlfriend Araceli, makes a horrific realization. She knows the suspect.
Just stay where we're at. Stay where we're at. Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back. Step back.
I'm right here, all right?
Hey, go shut those sirens off.
Araceli has just recognized the suspect as 29-year-old Armando A.J. Silva, her cousin. More and more officers continue arriving, each trying to find a way to help.
He has an injury to the back of his head. What else? When you guys stab onto the throat? They're in this one. Jonah, the front one. Jonah. This small one. We can't use that. We can't use that on the meat. What do you do? Give me some quick clump. Hey, you got some gauze? Yeah. Pressure bandage? We're gonna wrap it underneath his. I got this right here. Okay, hold pressure here. I got pressure here. I got this. He has a laceration to the back of his head. He's bleeding from his mouth. Come on, Jonah, I'm right here, dude. Jonah. It's okay, man. Hey, Jonah. Hey, start wrapping around his neck. Hold pressure on the back of the wound, too. This one right here? Okay. You slip him this way? Come on, Jonah. Come on, Jonah. Jonah, wake up, dude. Dude. Oh! Jonah. Dude, you have a pulse? Jonah! Look at Jonah!
Emergency services arrive and take over for the officers attempting to save Jonah's life.
Come on, Jonah! Let them work, bro. Let them work. Hey, get us the dirt! Come on. You good, bro? You good? I'm good.
While this is happening, other EMTs begin administering aid to Armando.
He's shot in the head, too.
I don't know, man.
He's shot in the chest. He's still breathing, or was a second ago. He's got a very faint pulse. You got his arm? That's as far as I got so far. I'm just trying to get his clothes off here.
Hey, he's going to Mountain View. Let's get an escort up there if we can, brother.
Escorted?
Yeah.
I'll roll with you guys. Hold on. I'm in here. Come on, Jonah. You going to Mountain View? Go down.
Okay, I'm just going to go.
Trying to go? Yeah. Breathing? No.
Get him on the monitor.
Okay.
You guys have trauma shares? Hey, no, we're not closed.
Hold on.
We're not ready.
I'm going left. We're gone. Lucas is in.
Jonah's injuries would be addressed later. For now, while Jonah is rushed to the hospital, officers left at the horrific scene begin speaking with Isaiah Astorga, attempting to understand how things could have gone so wrong so fast.
Yeah. What's going on, bro? No. I wasn't involved. I came over here and saw. What's your name, man?
Isaiah Storga. Can I have something to...
Yeah, we'll get you some in a bit. What'd you see, bro?
Isaiah explains his friend owns the property, and so when he saw someone loitering in the parking lot, he notified them. This led to the initial 911 call. He then waited nearby for police to arrive and took the clips of Armando setting a fire and practicing karate kicks. He watched as Jonah approached Armando.
I saw the man, AJ, coming up to him, and I saw what looked like a brawl. I didn't see the knife or anything. She says that's his cousin. It looked like him. So I come running out with my gun because...
So that gun that the officer had's yours?
It's a SIG, wherever it is. I don't know
Okay.
where it is. But So as I was getting closer, I saw him profusely bleeding. Just
the officer?
Red everywhere.
While Isaiah shares his story, the EMTs with Jonah continue life-saving measures in the back of the ambulance.
Marlon, send me Jonah's wife's phone number right now, please. Just, I don't have to explain, just do it, please.
We have a mill, multiple lacerations from neck, LCPD officer, we have a traumatic event. We got nothing right now, we're just diving in.
Come on, Jonah, I'm right here, boy.
He was yelling on the way for him to stop, and he came running at me, so I shot him twice.
This may be the chaos of the event blurring his memory, but Isaiah fired a total of 4 times. The fate of each bullet would soon be in question. After showing the officer where he was standing when the altercation took place, Isaiah continued.
He came at me, and I saw this guy just bleeding out. I've never seen blood like that. And so I fired at him again. He fell down. I actually ran back and forth because I didn't know what to do, because I didn't know whether to keep checking on him.
The officer, okay.
So I went to the officer and I saw the big gash in his neck, so I kept pressure.
All right, that's your video. Both the actor and the officer died from wounds on this one. Okay, so we've got a guy that is trespassing. Kind of been a theme tonight. Didn't pick it that way. That just the way the cookie crumbled, so to speak. You've got a suspect there that with a knife. Officer closes with him. Of course, he doesn't know he has a knife until close to the point where the suspect starts closing distance with him. But it happens pretty quick.
Yeah. One question is, at the end, they asked, or they said that something about some type of trouble or something like that, about how many shots he took or something like that.
He said that he shot twice, and I think he shot 4 or 5 times with him, but it's the trauma of the instance. Actually, I'd like to talk about the Good Samaritan on this second. Let's go through the initial engagement first, because I've got some key points on there that I'd like to bring up about that. So this officer is killed with a knife, and this goes back to the 21-foot rule. Anytime he wants to argue that about was it pointed at him or he wasn't doing anything, look how fast you can get from doing nothing to ending someone's life. It goes very quickly. You only have foreboding music in the movies. But there's a big aspect of this. You've got a Good Samaritan who's turns out he knew the person that owned the property and knew this guy wasn't supposed to be building fires there, so he just hangs out and waits across the street while the police came. But then he responds correctly with his own firearm and stops the assault on the police officer and stops the assailant from sucking air any longer. What are our thoughts on that?
I think on the first segment, I don't I don't think the officer should have gotten as close as he did. And I think that's the same point you were making about the 21-foot rule, right, Jeff? That
Okay,
the officer should have
let's look.
stayed back a little bit because he gets pretty close.
Okay, hang on. Let's watch this.
How's it going, boss?
He wasn't showing a knife at that point.
You been staying here
Yeah,
for a
but
while?
still, the officer is there alone.
But officers are
Right there.
most calls alone. That's not unusual for officers. I know in the movies they're running 6 deep, but one single officer is going to shag calls like this all day long.
Well, one thing is, I probably would have stopped right there. Like,
why?
What I'm looking at right then and there, just his hands from that distance. Now with the camera, it looks a little bit different. But what I'm thinking, if I'm sitting there, I'm looking at his hands, where his hands is at, and I would have tried to engage with him or talk with him at this point. Like, hey,
Man, officers can't treat people like that every time they make contact with them. This is just a vagrant on. This is a trespassing call.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I'd have treated it that. That's just simple as that.
Well, you can't.
Okay.
Okay. What's a more likely scenario in this deal? You're going to apprehend a guy for trespassing because the owner wants to press charges. They called and said they do. What's more likely, him stabbing you in the neck or turning around and running from you?
Turn around and run, then I can chase him.
Right. So why wouldn't I want to close some of the distance there? So
I'm not closing the distance right there because now I'm getting stabbed in the neck. The thing is, I'm looking at what his hands is and what his mannerism
are. All right, well, let's get a little closer because he doesn't stay there. He closes the distance.
What's up? Is this your place? So you're the one who called?
Yeah, I kind of think by the edge of the wall.
What's weird with his bag?
His hand is in the bag at that point.
I don't know if I can't tell what is it. Is it a bag or does he have his hands crossed? I can't tell.
Even when you
I think he has his hands in his sleeve and the arms are crossed.
No, he has his hand in the bag. He has it crossed. There's a point.
Corey, he's 30 or 40 feet
his
away.
His hand is in the bag.
Okay, let's see.
Corey, he's
You're the
30
one
or
who
40
called?
feet away.
Huh?
I didn't call nobody.
What bag?
Might just be the front pocket of a sweatshirt.
Is that what you mean?
He's still 30 feet off or 40 feet off.
All right, let's see. Man, I don't think he's 30 feet there. I think he's closer to 20 than 30. But let's see.
Called? Huh?
Yeah, it looks like he pulled it from the pocket of his hoodie.
Or maybe they're.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
can't tell.
His hand is in
Might
his
be a
hoodie.
bag.
I don't think it matters. I think the big thing that matters here is, are you the one that called? I didn't call anybody.
Yeah.
Right. But at this point, he presents the knife. Now he is a threat. The officer begins to regress, but he almost has to. If he stands his ground, look how fast this guy's coming on him.
Without
like
warning,
down
the
too.
suspect charges Jonah, stabbing at him with a knife. Though he attempts to flee, Jonah.
I think this is where complacency comes in too, just my opinion.
Man, how do you handle it? You handle every call like that? You handle every call like it's a SWAT call out?
Well, I'm not saying handle it like that, but I mean, I think he approached him too quick.
And then we look at other videos where, we're critical of the officer because he didn't approach with more aggression. It's either too much aggression or not enough aggression, right?
Well, but every call is not the same. Even the same type of call is not the same.
Okay.
You can't see his hands. The officer couldn't see his hands.
And that's alarming for me. Right?
Yeah,
If I can't see his hands, usually when someone is normal and they're trying to talk to you, they may have their hands out like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Even with the guy that got out the car, he had his hands in his pocket. He pulled a knife out of it. Yeah, so the thing is, hands in your pocket is just something that's suspicious to me. I would have stopped well before then. and say, hey, Matt, if we can talk, brother.
Okay. Let's go this route with it. You are the police officer there, and this doesn't turn into a stabbing. It turns into a pursuit or something. But you're going to write the report. So you're going to say that this person was standing with their hands in their hoodie pocket or hands in pockets, and this was suspicious to you. Why is someone having their hands in their pockets suspicious to you?
Because they can have a knife.
Because you don't know what's in the hands.
But is it uncommon to see someone who's standing in anywhere with their hands in their pocket?
It doesn't matter.
But that's when
you're doing that for your safety.
And here's even more nuance to it. What if it turned out to be nothing? It could turn out to be not a thing at all. I'll take the write-up. I'll take the reprimand. At least I'm alive for the write-up.
Then you're bootlicker. You're too aggressive as a police officer. That's harsh with the public. You treat everyone like they're about to stab you in the neck.
Well, let me tell you something. Till they mount you up and fucking do the job, I don't give a fuck. That's what they talking about. I'm sorry.
Hey, Joe.
I mean, he could have asked him to pull his hands out of his pockets.
Go ahead.
I mean, you do that with anybody.
I honestly think all you guys are looking at the tragic end of this when there are many interactions with police officers like the late Jonah and others that don't go this way. And you can't treat everyone like they're going to stab you in the neck. I just don't think you can.
No, you're right.
No, I've asked people. I don't care what the call is. Show me your hands.
Yeah, you know what? Unless it's a gun call, I don't know that I would have said it. When this guy gets a little closer, as he's having a conversation, breaking things down to him, and trying to make this not to be a physical conflict, he's doing the verbal judo as he approaches. I'm sure one of us like, "Hey, man, you mind taking your hands out of your pocket for me? Thank you." So
hey, Joe.
I think what Joe's trying to say here, and I can tell you, can somebody mute the mic?
I think it was Burton trying to go. Let's go to Burton first, Jason. I want to come back to you. Go ahead, Burton.
I was going to say, where you had it paused just a second ago, he's right next to that little enclosure section. If he had stopped there, all he had to do was step sideways 2 steps, and he had cover. And personally, I think I would have considered that while continuing to talk to him. Get your hands out of your pockets. Can you show me your hands? Had he approached at that point, he's about 25, 30 feet away. It would have been a lot safer. Unfortunately, he didn't do that.
So I just looked it up, and Jonah had been a cop for about 18 months. So he was still pretty new, and he's the very first Las Cruces police officer ever killed on duty. So I'm guessing this is a type of thing that it's not obviously not common there. So who knows how he was trained? And again, he'd been a cop for less than 2 years. I think you guys are getting really, really hard on him for not being an asshole.
Yeah, it's not that we're getting hard on him. We're like, if that was you standing there, not being a cop or something, and you saw this guy standing over there, he's kind of dancing around and everything. You kind of see him, and he's all by himself over there.
Cop didn't see that.
You're not telling me you wouldn't get the willies from that?
Hang on, Fidgy. Cop didn't see that. Cop didn't watch this video before he went into that call. That was taken by the Good Samaritan while he was waiting officers to arrive. He had not met with officers. The officer pulled up there. You see him pull up. He's humming. He gets out. Goes.
Yeah,
he didn't.
I'm not saying that.
He just sees a guy standing there. That's all he sees.
What I'm saying though is when you encounter someone who's acting kind of creepy, you start taking common sense measures, right? Like you're stiffening up a little bit, you're becoming a little bit more aware, you're becoming a little bit more on guard, you're kind of looking for escapes, you might put your hand on your gun, you know something's wrong.
Even though he didn't see any of the stuff that you're saying that would put your antenna up.
Well, look, the guy was taking video of him. That guy thought he was acting creepy.
Yeah, but that guy's not there. Here's the cop. He gets out. Let's watch. He gets out. He don't talk to anyone.
This right here.
He's not talking to anyone.
Corey, have you ever done 21-foot drills in your dojo?
Yes. Yes.
As have I.
All right,
I
hang
would
on,
not have
hang
gone
on.
past that wall.
Hang on. He doesn't know he's got a knife. He's a guy standing here. Yeah, this is my
I don't
What's
care.
up? This is my
I'm
place.
not going to
This
go
is
past
your
that
place.
wall.
So you're the one who called? No, I didn't call anyone. He doesn't know if he's talking to a business owner or what until it goes to shit. There's not a whole lot of blame I can put on the guy. I wished he had known it was going to happen. I wished he wasn't dead. I wished he'd pulled a gun and peeled that dude's grape back. I wished he did, but I can't blame him for that.
And I'm not blaming him. What I'm saying is,
hang on, hold up. Let me finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're saying that, well, I would have understood the 21-foot rule because I don't see a gun. So he could be armed with a knife. He doesn't know that he's armed with a knife. No one said he's been armed with a knife. They said there's a dude that's living on my property over here. Now, the guy that takes the video, that happens. They get that as evidence after the shoot. This officer had no information on that, the weirdness, burning fires or doing karate kicks, acting like he's thrown off. He didn't have any of that. He gets out there. He's a guy who's dressed appropriate for the temperature at the back of a building, says, "Hey, how's it going?" It's going pretty good. Do you live here or is this your property? He says, yeah, I live here. Oh, so you're the one that calls? No, I didn't call anybody. You didn't call? No, I didn't call anybody. And that's when the knife comes out, and it goes about that fast. So you're saying that you should have had the calculated that I need to step to my left or my right. And I don't even know if I'm talking to a bad guy or yet not. I'm closing in to make this type of
Yes, Joe, because homeless people who might be mentally ill, because there's a high rate of that, might have weapons on them.
No, Fidgy, that's not
So
what I'm
you
saying.
should take those precautions.
I tell you what, we're getting down the last 4 minutes. Let me give it to Jason.
Do you guys actually understand in one like 10 or 12 hour shift how many calls like this officers go to? The original call is a homeless person. They got their windows broken. At best, it's a maybe damage to property. When he's walking up, he says, "Hey, boss." He's trying to download. He's trying to walk up and just kind of make it calm. The one thing that when he said, I own this place, so you're the one that called, and he said no, and the knife comes out, there's no cover for this guy. Even that little square thing there, a cover that he doesn't have a gun. That's not, he comes around the corner and you're still in the same predicament. We can't take everything like a SWAT call out. And that's kind of what I'm saying is that this officer walked into an evil place, and best intentions of the world, nobody is killed, that he's not responding to a murder scene. Cops walk into shit that they have no idea what the hell is going on, and they have to respond like that. And that's what I saw in this.
But Jason, let's not neglect what you and I say a bunch or a lot in these types of situations. Action is always faster than reaction. That guy knew what he was going to do. He did it when he was ready to do it. The officer could only respond and react, and sometimes that's not good enough. He lost.
Yep, 100%.
What about before we get out of here? Got just a couple of questions. We got 2 minutes. Real quick. Anybody have any issues with the civilian? Great free American practicing his 2A constitutional rights with a firearm
none whatsoever.
None
whatsoever.
Award that guy. He did a phenomenal job.
He's the keys to the city. He's an outstanding American. Not only did he end that evil act that was happening, but he did everything he could try to save that officer's life. He's a good human.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he's a hero.
There's evil people in this world that have a plan before law enforcement gets there, and the problem is law enforcement typically reacts, and if we go too heavy, we get put in jail.
Well said. Hey, folks, we'll kick up an after party after this. I want to thank everybody that watched. Of course, my audience members that give comments. We'd love that in questions, and special thanks to my panel members tonight. Catch us on Wednesday. We've got another interrogation, our number 2 episode for interrogation with Jason, Lamar, and Lucian and myself, where we cut up some interrogation videos, actual interrogation videos, and talk about the techniques that law enforcement or intelligence officers use. but I've got a good one picked out. You're going to like this. We're going to flip it over and see how the female persuasion stands up to the Reed tactics. But catch us in the after party on X. Thanks, guys.
Hello.
No.
And did you ever get any money from Maya Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Pachettes?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk. No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella. I refuse to answer on the grounds of made intent to criminal. You got any business? I refuse to answer on the grounds of intent to criminal. You have any profession? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made intent to criminal. You have any occupation? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made intent to criminal. Are you a known racketeer? I refuse to answer on the grounds of